Alright, so we're back with another video. So let's go ahead and set up our auth routes now, because right now we have nothing. Okay, we only have this this base endpoint, but that's nothing, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up an endpoint, which is going to be a GET request, right? Not POST request, a GET request, because we need to visit that endpoint using a GET request, and then it's going to redirect us to Discord, and Passport will take care of that for us. So we're going to do router.get. And remember, we're inside the auth router, so all of these routes will already be prefixed with /auth. So we're just going to call this /discord. Okay? We need to then import passport. And then we're going to pass in as a parameter passport.authenticate discord. Like that. Okay? And once we're done with that, we can then pass in another function to handle the request. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we do need to also set up another route. So this is just the route that the users are going to visit. We need to set up the redirect route. So router.get/discord/redirect. So this is the same exact endpoint that we set up for the Discord application. Okay, so right, remember we had /API/auth/discord/redirect as the callback URL. Now we're implementing this URL. So you need to make sure that this matches the one that we have configured on Discord in the developer portal. Okay, we'll just send back a success. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is we'll go inside the browser right now. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me go into the browser and let me visit /API/auth/discord. You're going to see what's going on. Requires a client ID option. Okay, so it seems like our environment variables are actually not even loaded up. Let's see. Seems like it's not being read properly. So it seems like this is undefined. Let me try again. Okay, so it seems like it's undefined, and I think the reason why is probably because, well, we are calling config over here, and then we're running. That's interesting. Let me see. I think what I'll do, hopefully we don't have too many problems, so hopefully we don't have to like change a bunch of stuff up. But I'll do this. I'll just import config again, and call it. So import config. And I'll just call it over here. And that error should hopefully go away. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. So that error went away. Now let's go and visit the route. And you're going to see that it redirects me to the Discord application. And you're going to see that it says our application name wants to access your account. And it tells you what scope. So I'm just going to go ahead and click authorize. Like it'll just give us all the email and all of these servers. Okay, so whatever you had set up for scopes inside the strategy is what will appear over here. Okay, I think there's also one more scope that we'll need because we're using /commands, and I think it's commands.update. I think we also need that as well. So let me try that again, and let me see. Oh wait, it's actually applications.commands. All right, let's save this again. Let's visit the route. There we go. And now you can see that it says create commands in the server. And let's see. Well, I think that I actually think that, let's see. When we log in, this will add it to the server. But I don't think we want to do that every single time, though. Because that wouldn't really make sense. Because this is really supposed to be a one-time thing. Yeah, you know what? Let me actually remove this. Because this is actually not correct. Yeah, we'll leave it alone for now. Okay. We'll just leave it with those 3 scopes. This is for when you want to actually add it to the server, but that's not the correct way to do it. So let's click authorize. Now you're going to see that right now it's not going to like actually give us a response back. So what's happening is when we actually click authorize, it makes a request to that redirect URL that we implemented right over here, this /discord/redirect URL. Okay? And what happens is it invokes passport again. And the second time that we pass this passport to authenticate, what actually happens is it uses the code. So the code is actually requested to this endpoint as a query parameter. And Passport will take that code and it will call the Discord's API to exchange that code for a set of tokens, so the access and refresh token. And it's going to also give us the user details. Okay, so let me show you right now, because we're not doing anything inside this verify function. I'll go ahead and console log everything. So access token, refresh token, and let's console log the profile. And let me save. Okay, and let's go ahead and run this again. You can see that the code is literally right over here. Hopefully you can see it. I'll probably just zoom in, but you can see that the code is over here, but it's invalid because it expired. Let's try this again. Let's click authorize. Let's look in the console. You're going to see that, look right over here. If you look on the right hand side, you're going to see that it first logs the access and the refresh token, and then it logs, let me just close that out, and then it logs the profile. So based off of all the scopes that we provided, you can see that it has the identify scope gives us the ID, username, the avatar, and a bunch of other stuff. The email scope will give us the email address, the access token, okay, right over here. The guild scope will give us the guilds array, and you can see all of the guilds that we are in. Okay, so now we're not done yet, obviously, because right now we're only logging stuff, right? What we actually need to do is we need to write the code to actually authenticate the user. Okay, now this is a pretty straightforward step. What we need to do is we need to search our database for the user. Okay, we can search by their Discord ID. I think searching by Discord ID is more appropriate. We can search by the Discord ID, and if the user is found, we can do a couple things. One, we could either just update the user with the latest details, such as the username and the ID, because those, not the ID, the discriminator, because they can always change their username or their discriminator, right? But they can't change their ID. So we can always update that, but that you'll only need to do that if you are saving that. Okay. Now, if the user is not found, we'll just create a brand new user. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, first, we're going to need to actually set up a mongoose schema, okay, and we'll also need to connect to the database. And then once we have the database connection, once we have our user schema set up, we can then jump back to this verify function and actually start, and then we can actually start saving the user to database or creating it if they don't exist. So we'll save that for the next video because I want to keep these videos, you know, short and simple. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll install Mongoose, and then we'll set up a user schema that will represent a user in our application, and then we'll just go ahead and create the user, and that'll be it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out.